I don't know if you can hear me well. It took a minute for people to get in here, so I figured I'd start it early. Welcome in, Shelley. Welcome in, Jill. Welcome in, Little B. Welcome in, Dirt Bike. Dirt Biker 2.0. I have no idea what tonight's collective is going to be all about. Apparently, Spirit says it's a surprise. I used to think that everybody needs a little healing. I used to think everybody deserves a chance. Spirit saying that we need to use discernment from this day on. Because there'd be people playing around and acting like your friends. And when your back is turned, they be trying to suck the life out of you. So anything sent my way is automatically transmuted to prosperity and abundance. So that way, not only I can be stable, but I can help others the way it was always meant to be. There's people out there that don't want me to get recognition for the kind heart I have. They're actually quite envious and jealous at the fact that despite what I've been through, I still have one. That's the essence of a true warrior. It's whether or not you've allowed life to harden you or not, to lose your compassion. It's not whether or not you can keep the peace. It's whether or not you fight for integrity and justice. And to have people come up against you while you're trying to bring justice is an asinine thing to do. There's people thinking that they can come out and play with divine intervention and get away with it. Thinking that they can pull certain shots to make certain things happen. Yet they continuously fall short of what they're trying to do. looking like the gang is up here.
Planet Earth. We're from planet Earth here. All right. Little B, Dirt Biker, Shelly, Jill, Max, Ryan, Matthew, Cheryl. I just figured this might be better than a backdrop. Can you guys hear me okay? Can I get a 10-4 on that? Thank you. Thank you very much, Jill. To all my supporters, I appreciate you. Some days I wonder, and then other days I question. As to why I do what I do. I'm always questioning myself. My part changes from time to time. In the hair. If I don't put conditioner in it, it's out of the world. It's out of this world. Okay. It's funny what the bitterness does to people. They end up setting up their own trap. Usually the ones that dig the hole for you they end up falling in it themselves. The people that come up against us collective, that try to take us out of our element. The reason why they hate is because they eventually realize how protected you are. But they end up learning the hard way. How do we know whether or not the sun is setting or if it's rising? If it wasn't for the time, if it wasn't for the clock, how would we really know? And if it's rising and setting at the same time, I was kind of pondering this the other day. And what got me thinking about it was one of my song titles, Sunset in the Morning. It's about escaping the matrix. It's about being caressed by the energy of love. Remembering those little moments where time stops. To be in the stillness. To be in the moment. And to realize that every one of these moments that you partake in is actually what makes up of what actually matters. And the less moments that we take, the less life that we live. Because when you can't recognize the moment, you exist. What is a moment if it does not have value? If it's just surface level? What is a moment to just exist with the status quo of what is offered to us? I mean, a big red flag to me is if I'm taking a moment with a particular situation and I find my IQ dropping. I tend to not associate with it too much, out of fear that it might be there to dumb me down. To distract me from what's important. So we then become aware of that moment. We go within ourselves. We see the threads that bind us together through these moments and interactions that we have as a collective. We not only recognize the wisdom that we have within us that we share to the world, But just as the doctors and specialists have their medicine, so do we as a collective. For those that are aware of these little moments and take in the gratitude of each living day, recognizing the healer within, being driven and being called to the justice of those special moments, to overcome the darkness, shedding light in the shadows, and empowering you to rise. There will be a moment when you will be asked to rise, to stand up for what you truly believe in, and to stand up for what's right. Will you slow yourself and steady yourself enough to listen? I wish you a speedy recovery, Laura. I'm wishing you the surgery goes better than expected. Collective, we get into these moments where we don't feel that we have what it takes to rise. But if we are being called from within, that is your confirmation. Be the healer. Be the mentor. Be the teacher of your own wisdom. Just be authentic in your wisdom. Knowing that you are that thread. Knowing that you are that healer. And that mentor. And the siren of the truth speakers. There's a current dried out deception that is being called out across the earth. We are realizing and awakening to our true potential. There's so much love in this group. I'm so proud of absolutely every single one of you, of my tribe. We've done a lot of work together. Over the year, we've done a lot of work, we've done a lot of unpacking. This journey is not easy. But again, is the sun setting or is it rising? And whether or not it's either or, does it even matter? Because there's beautiful moments in the in-between. It's about recognizing it for what it is. And the possibilities. Angels, I call upon you now to provide a message for my collective, my tribe. What card would best suit tonight's collective reading? Raphael. It's not showing up. It's being dumb. So I will get rid of the shenanigans. We got Raphael. Trust your spiritual vision. That is your activation. Your psychic and spiritual abilities are awakening. Trust what you are seeing, for your intuition is correct. You can read between the lines, and the information you feel rising up within you is being divinely revealed to you. You have spent lifetimes preparing for this moment, and although you may feel apprehensive, you were born for this. Believe in the beauty of your gifts. If I trust my inner vision, if you've been my OGs from the beginning, you know the energy we've been picking up on. And you know I be resonating and vibing with quite a bit of it, if not all of it. I think that's what brought us together. If I trust in my spiritual vision, it means we still have a chance. But we have to pay attention. And there will be a time where we will rise. My question to myself quite often is, how do I grasp onto a system that's crumbling? How do I ask for help or get assistance from a crumbling service, It's all crumbling. And no matter how they try to duct tape it together, no matter how much they try to take control, it continues to implode from the inside out. So how do I grasp onto something for guidance and wisdom when it's falling apart? And how am I supposed to become who I am if the one thing I need is the system in order to become myself, become who I am? And just as much as the system is crumbling, I find a part of myself within is crumbling as we speak. If I believe in my vision, then I've been outwardly, to the fullest extent, betrayed by my family. Not only by my family, but people parading around to be friends. Maybe not all of them, because some have integrity. But it's interesting how there's patterns throughout my life of certain people coming into my life having the same playbook, playing the same mind games, trying to crumble me and distract me, telling me what I should do, where I should go, how I should do it. Telling me how to jump, how to jump, and me asking how high. Fitting into everybody else's version of myself instead of my own. Instead of following what my calling was. But to go through trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Going through the different challenges that I've had to deal with. And yeah, we all have our life challenges. But to try to have someone try and sabotage your whole life and take joy ripping apart every dream that you've tried to build. And took joy in your falling apart. And have that person be part of your family. Have that person be someone that you're supposed to be able to trust throughout your life. They smile in your face and they laugh behind your back. Lying on your person, lying on your character, lying on who you are, lying on your intention. Creating evil eye and ill will and ill intent behind your back to come up against you and continuously keep you in a challenged fight or flight energy out of sadistic enjoyment. All because they're envious of your inner light. And it's also asinine that you go to try to call somebody to report it, and they tell you to walk away. What if you've been running your whole fucking life? What if you've been running your whole life to try to get away from it? And it doesn't matter where, doesn't matter how, doesn't matter who, doesn't matter what you do, who you see, who you meet, it follows you. Whatever it is, I rebuke it. I banish it back from where it comes. Whoever sent it, let it be bound to them. Let it haunt them. Let it be bound to them for eternity. Even after this life, even after this time of existence. Let it haunt them in absolutely every reincarnation they have. Let the tables turn. Let the tables be flipped. It's no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. I'm not here for a season. I'm here for a reason. And I don't require you to listen. I don't require you to take the time out to hear me. That's your total, utter decision. That is your choice. But every moment I choose to be here, I choose to allow it to be of value. Even if it is just sharing a perspective. Even if it is calling on spirit, the ancestors, for guidance, not only for myself, but for you. If I'm to trust my vision, and if I'm to make the calls that I need to make, and make the reports that I need to make, and if I am not heard, if I'm not listened to, well, what do I do then? What is it to be just told to walk away? When you've been running away from it all your life, trying to get away from it, trying to get out of its clutches, your whole life, and somehow you're supposed to just walk away. Whatever happened to stopping? Whatever happened to facing it? Whatever happened to rising and standing up for yourself? Why is it not allowed to protect yourself? It's not fair, Ryan. Put up and shut up. How long have we got to do this? How long do we got to walk on eggshells? How long do we have to put up with it? But if we engage, then we're put into the dumbass mess that they try to create for us. So that's what they want, though. They want us to get dirty. They want us to get into trouble. That's the whole purpose as to why they engage. That's why they create it in the first place. I like your thinking, Kim. I'd really appreciate it if whoever's trying to hack uh, my emails to just stop. You're not gonna get in. Somebody's receiving karma. And it's regarding physical pain. And I sense that somebody might have gotten into an accident coming for you. And not only did they have their life flash before their eyes, before they even set out on the trick, even the people they were supposed to group up with canceled. And it seems as though they're stranded out in the middle of nowhere and need help. Interesting. Very ironic. Somebody's not happy that they're trapped. They're not only stuck, but they're trapped. collective, this is what they wanted for you. And it's mainly because they didn't want to come forward and communicate. They said nothing. They took no accountability. They didn't try to sort things out. Your ancestors say they love you. These people that were using you, they never loved you. They were using you. They didn't have 1 ounce of love or compassion for you. Yet you poured out your heart to them. Even though you were misguided, you learned some very valuable lessons. Spirit wants you to forgive. Forgive the losses, for there will no longer be a reunion. For some of you, these people that chose to use you and take advantage of you, that didn't love you, the ones you decided to just leave and move on, their inability to acknowledge their feelings is what really got them the worst. Because after there was an emptiness, after there was a space where you were, there was an emptiness. It was an emptiness no one could fill. And now they're angry with themselves. The number 9, the number 21, the number 3 could be significant. The number 36, the number 18, the number 27, the number 12, the number 39, 41, 16, 40, 36, 15, 32, 3, 18, 9, somebody wants your forgiveness, and they're willing to submit to you. They didn't think that they needed your help. But they do, because they're dealing with a karmic relationship. And they've been repressed from sharing their true feelings. And spirits got them trapped. This is part of their karma, collective. Why? Because they were after your abundance. That's why. Yeah, and there's not going to be any reunion with this person. Okay? Because they're dumb. They're dumb to think that they're going to get their way back in to your energy. Without doing any particular work, without doing any particular reflection on what they've done. They will not get admittance. They will not get entrance into your energy, into your life, for any particular reason. And it's also being told to me that it is going to be a rude awakening if they do. See, I come on here and I talk about certain wisdoms and I talk about certain esoteric messages. Okay, and I speak on certain perspectives. I am simply a messenger. I'm not out here waving the magic wand making shit happen. I am just simply the messenger. Don't get mad at the messenger. Don't get mad at the mailman for bringing you the bills and sticking them in your mailbox. Get mad at your bank account or your services that are sending you the bills in the first place. People coming in with their karmic energy, when I trigger them, talking about certain subjects that they very well could be guilty of. It's meant to share a perspective. And if you feel triggered by what I say, this is your chance to reflect. This is your chance to step into some sort of courageous healing and rise above it. It's one of the reasons why I'm not on here mentioning names, because I read energy. I read simple energy. And it's the energy that usually shows up that needs to be spoken on. I speak a lot about karmic energy because there's a lot of karmics wreaking havoc. And I figure if a lot of the karmics knew, which some of them automatically know exactly what they're doing. But despite that they do know, they do it on purpose. So when I'm calling people out, I'm calling the people out that are doing it on purpose. I'm calling it out to the people that are literally on purpose wreaking havoc and chaos in people's lives when they have no right to do so. It should be illegal. Because there will be a time where we rise. As individuals and as a collective, there will be a time when we will rise. I've not only done a lot of work on myself, but I've also done a lot of work on my outer perspective, on the way I see the world. For the most part, I've lived with a pretty open mind. There are certain lines that I will not cross, that I will draw the line on, that I will stand with. But I try to keep it open-minded. I try to keep it as non-judgmental. And if it needs to be criticized in a constructive manner. The only thing I very well do destructively on here is speak on karmic energy. Because it deserves to be destroyed. It deserves to be annihilated. It deserves to not have a place at my table or at yours. And for some to have the audacity to think they can pull the wool over our eyes and get away with it by taking advantage of us, pulling the wool over our eyes. This is the fundamentals of this channel. Sharing wisdom. Shining the light in the darkness. Bringing awareness. Bringing clarity to the fog. When do we rise above the abuse and the upset? When it gets to the point where we snap out and rise up. When we say enough is enough. Because I'm sorry, I've been running my whole life and I'm done running. But I will rip a demon's face off before I will ever sell my soul. I almost want to get that in a t-shirt. Great Spirit. Guides, guards, protectors, angels, ancestors, divine light. I'm asking you to be here. to channel through me a message for the collective and a collective reading. What do we need to know right now? Somebody wants you walking without direction. Somebody wants you to move without direction, without knowing where you're going. But they're literally wanting you to have to move without knowing where you're going. Just walking aimlessly, in no direction at all. They want you lost. Within your mind, within your body, within your soul. We got the 7 of shells, we got the 2 of feathers, and we got the Knight of acorns. We got the 3 of shells, we've got the Knight of shells, and we have the 2 of shells reversed. They want you to move forward compassionately into dead-end relationships. They want you to continue going through this cycle of healing your heart, getting to the point where you're willing to open up your heart again, opening up your heart and trusting, only to be ripped apart again. They want this to happen over and over and over again. They want you thinking that why did I not see it this time? Why did I not learn my lesson last time? They want you to literally be ridiculing yourself because of your decisions. They want you in this position where you can't even make a decision for yourself. They want to be successful at ruining your commitments and courage, and to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. What am I supposed to do with this? If I trust my vision, what am I supposed to do with this? Do I need to turn into a vigilante? Do I need to get a Guy Fawkes mask and start going around knocking people out? because I'm almost there. You see the tower that's coming, collective. And this is why you're resting. This is why you're aiming at sanctuary. Because you know what's actually about to go down. And the thing is that all these doom and gloom and all these people out there thinking that they're going to prepare. They thinking that these bunkers that they've got deep down into the ground are going to work. There's people thinking that they've got these yachts out in the water that are going to take them away from the land and just going to go sail off into the ocean for 3 weeks and find another place to go. And just go on this long adventure. Everybody's got this plan to think that they're going to withstand the storm, thinking that they're going to be able to fight their way through this and win and succeed through the storm. They've spent millions and some billions of dollars into restoration projects and to build some sort of safety net. Totally dismissing the fact that this war and what they're preparing for is nothing compared to what actually is going to happen and what actually is going to be instilled upon the earth. With nothing in the equation of. They've all been misguided. They've all been lied to. These people out there thinking that you need to build up a... yeah, okay, yeah, it's great to have food. Okay. It's great to have water. It's great to have all this good stuff to keep you going. But then you have to worry about looting. Then you have to worry about your neighbors. Then you have to worry about people that are going to come in and pillage you. Then you have to worry about the weather. Because you know when shit goes down, the weather's going to go all screwy too, right? Because what some people don't realize is that these weather weapons that they have, they are totally fully self-sustainable. They don't need power to run. They don't need infrastructure from services or cities or whatever else to operate. So they can continue the storm as it goes. And they can even tie into the current grid to amplify those signals. And I'm telling you right now, this current war that's about to ensue upon the earth, this war is going to affect your insides more than your outsides. And that's all I'm going to say. This war is going to hit you from the inside out. And to some degree, no one is immune. Every woman, man, and child will be affected by this. And there's no running from it. And it all depends on how we act and how we react to it. That will either be our rise or our demise. To see the future and to see what is about to happen, I already know. There's two different timelines. This is why the earth is splitting. The sheep are going to slaughter. That's basically the nitty-gritty. The ones that chose to not wake up, the ones that chose to stay in their karmic energy, the ones that chose to allow bitterness and hate and greed and all this other shit to wreak havoc on their spirit. The sheep are going to slaughter. Is it something that I'm happy about? No. Why? Because it's been a huge psyops exercise. It's a big, huge test. The ones that chose to withstand and say no, I'll just say that they will fare out a lot better than those that chose to submit. There will be a time will come, where you will have to make a choice. This is not going to be an easy choice. It's going to be one of the hardest choices you will ever make in your entire existence. And just for novelty's sake, grab your popcorn because things are about to get real good. Certain people that thinking that they're gonna get away with something, they won't. They will be dealt with accordingly. Within the next 2 to 3 months, precisely after the winter storm, when spring hits, that's when things are going to get a little hairy. Things are going to get a little wild. Because the energy of spring is going to bring back a lot of zest within us, and we're going to get a big, huge energy burst. And we might see riots, we might see protests, we might see people rising, speaking their mind, speaking out of tune, speaking out of turn, sharing their stories. There will be a time where the energy grid goes down. The people that are all pretty well self-sufficient, they're not going to have any issues. The people that have been living moment to moment, day by day, you're going to have some challenges. But again, a lot of this, and they don't even want me saying this clearly, a lot of this that's going to happen is everyone will be affected. There's not going to be a woman, man, child that will not be affected by this. Okay? And if you think that you're going to get through this scot-free and unscathed, you're sadly mistaken. Specifically the people that have a lot of money. You think your money's going to save you, but I'll tell you right now, it's one of your biggest deceptions. Because your money ain't going to save you. Who said anything about this being a bad thing, Levy? Yeah, somebody wants to come forward. They like your determination. They want to share some sort of manifestation or prosperity with you. But it's only to thwart you. It's only to hold you back. And people wonder why I'm single. People wonder why, yeah, to remove hope and harmony and peace. To take away your ability to heal. They're thinking that they can buy you. But they're emotionally unavailable. And there's going to be certain things being revealed. It's going to come out. They weren't loving you to start with. And they were after your security and abundance. They didn't feel that you deserved it. But somebody was inspired by your self-empowerment and ambition. Didn't realize that you had the information that you had. They tried to take your focus and stability and create a situation where you would act out of character and demote yourself. But that backfired. Ryan, what are you even saying? That is not an option. I will hear from you again. You'll continue to show up. You're a fighter. You're gonna get through this. So somebody wants to be intimate with you. Somebody misses the intimacy they had with you. They want to come in and prove to you that they're not the psychopath. They want to get a hold of some sort of rumors or gossip. And they're hopeful, they're inspired, they're optimistic to some sort of success with you. They want you to drop some sort of boundaries, and they want to speed things up and take things to a new level with you. They're done with this whole idea to delay this, and they want to come in. And I'm going to say, did I stutter? Did they even hear a word that I said? Welcome in, Lighthouse. Yeah, by them coming in again, they want to create more chaos and upheaval and disaster and downfall in your life. But they want to come in acting like they're your soulmate. That they get it now. They've had an awakening. They think that you guys are twin flames. Trying to get you to play right into your own fucking perspective. Yeah, they're longing, they're missing, they're wanting to talk, they want a reunion. There's no possibilities because you're cutting ties with this. This was a very unnurturing energy. Yeah, they're wanting a second chance, and they want to apologize for their arrogantness and rash actions and insincerity, and they want to create harmony, balance, and peace and happiness. But you got them blocked, and you're not entertaining that at all. You're speaking your mind. So if they're not getting the message now, since you've spoke your mind, they're not going to ever really get it face to face. Yeah. They were laughing at the fact that you weren't able to get settled, that you were having a hard time getting in the secure energy. But they're not laughing anymore. They're no longer protected, and they're drowning. They're at the process of hitting rock bottom. They're running away from their healing. Yeah, because they're still in their karmic energy. All right, Spirit. A little bit of a story time read, I guess. What's the story, Spirit? Some sort of a magical manipulation. What's going on? Yeah. They're watching you. They're watching to see what they can do to thwart you, to take away your wish fulfillment. They're watching to see who you're interested in. Somebody's watching anyway. Well, they were. But I get a feeling that they were manipulating a way to watch you, and apparently they can't do it anymore. But they see you being independent. We got the Four of Pentacles, focused on yourself, your healing, your stability, focused on rising above with the world. You're learning lessons. You're stepping up. We got the Tower on the bottom of the deck. And we got the Six of Wands on the top. So you're about to get to some sort of recognition, and this is going to bring about some major changes for you. All right, let's clarify it. Because Spirit said so. All right, so there is going to be some sort of, okay, there's going to be some sort of communication that's coming forward that is going to give you hope. Okay? Your wish is going to be granted. Yeah, you might be feeling rather antsy, you might be feeling overwhelmed, you might be feeling unable to rest. But that's about to change. And I'm also getting energetically that somebody's trying to bring you a storm. Okay? And this storm isn't going to be for them. Or this storm is not going to be for you that they're creating. They're actually creating a storm for you, but it's for them. The Divine's got a couple aces up their sleeve. What's the Magician? Yeah, you deserve better, and the Divine says so, and so the Divine's at this perspective, they are protecting you. You're divinely protected. Okay? And it's because you are saying no that the Divine is saying no to. The Divine is open to you experiencing what you need to experience to learn. But as soon as you say no, as soon as you rebuke it, as soon as you're like asking for protection against it, Your ancestors, the divine, whoever you are protected by, is not playing no games. Specifically if there's manipulation and magic involved. Yeah, you're going to be moving forward very stable. There's some sort of somebody coming in to help you with this. Yes. They see the great losses that you've had, but they see the fact that you still love, and the fact that you still have a heart. And this is what inspires them. Two of Wands reversed. They see that you're having a hard time moving forward. So things are about to change. There very well could be 8 people coming in. Mm-hmm. This dark Hierophant. There's somebody very non-committal, very wishy-washy, um, very toxic, very karmic, dark Hierophant, dark spiritualist. They're in for an absolute rude awakening. Whoever this is that's coming up against you, oof. Nab of... Okay, I didn't even get it out. Nab of Swords. Yeah, they're waiting to see that your foundation is crumbling, that you're pining and thinking about the past, that you can't make any decisions, and you're moving forward in a bitter energy. This is what they're looking for. Because if they see this, then they know their magic is working. So they want you hung up on the past. They want your foundation and home life totally in chaos. They don't want you able to make a decision or to speak out, to call truths. They don't want nothing like that. They want no compassion whatsoever coming in for you. Like, this is a very, very dark, vindictive individual. I rebuke them. I banish them to the pits of hell where they belong. Yeah. They know you're a magician. Just because a ninja knows nujitsu and karate and different forms of protection and fighting and combat, just because they know this doesn't mean that they are meant to fight. It doesn't mean that they have to fight. It doesn't mean that they need to use their abilities. Again, it's about the discipline behind it. It's about the ability to have the ability to literally wreck someone, but have the ability to diffuse and transmute it instead. To disengage the quarrel to begin with. It's not about whether or not they can fight or not. It's whether or not they can withstand the idea to fight and to disengage. So this dark spiritualist, this dark magician trying to do dark magic and screw with you, is screwing with you for the simple fact that they know that you're a magician. They know that you're a wizard. They know that you are an alchemist, shall we say. So because of that, they're testing you. They are combating you. They are challenging you. What's the Nine of Cups? Yeah. So their Nine of Cups, their emotional wish fulfillment is to see you in no ability to walk away, no ability to learn any lessons, living out the same old cycles, not being able to stand in your power, totally powerless, totally out of your head with your intuition, and any ideas that come in for them to totally disengage and just disintegrate. That is their wish fulfillment. It would bring them great joy to their heart. It's a King of Cups in the reverse. Okay? Yeah. It's a King of Cups, and they're wishy-washy motherfuckers. And I'm picking up on again, this dumbass karmic Cancer that think that their shit don't stink. Like, they really need to sit the fuck down. They're in for a rude awakening. What's this Knight of Pentacles? Yeah, Nine of Wands. They're energetically tied to you, sucking off of your energy and life force and abundance, trying to defeat you. Yeah. Trying to take your gifts, trying to take everything that you're good at, your Midas touch. They're literally trying to take that. Take the essence of who you are, they're trying to take that from you. And they can't do it anymore. They can't do it. They can't betray you anymore. The divine said no. So now they're thinking, okay, well, I can't beat them, might as well join them. So now they want to come in and collaborate with you. And they want to rise together. Yeah, they want to somehow bring hope to you now. I'm going to say this now, they're in for a rude awakening. The divine says to forgive but not forget. They didn't say nothing about forgetting. They got no problems with you learning a lesson, right? I didn't want to finish this. I'm done with this energy. Like, they could fuck off any day now. I'm so tired of this energy. Like, fuck off. And I don't mean necessarily anyone here in my chat or in my tribe. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about this very, very sadistic, karmic, Cancer energy. Like, this is kind of giving ex-best friend kind of jealousy, envy, trying to wreak havoc on your life because they're jealous of your glow up. You know what's really odd? I have some really, really karmic Cancers that I know of that are just an absolute mess. And then I got some divine Cancers that I know of that are dealing with karmics. One of them in particular is one of my biggest supporters. And they will remain nameless because I don't need them being attacked. In fact, the divine light, please protect them. Please guide, guard, and protect them. I have a feeling they be going through it right now. Please give them strength. Welcome in, Radiant. I think a smoke break is at hand. But yeah, that's the thing, right? Uh, Throughout the time there, I've been hating on the Geminis, but there's a lot of karmic Geminis. I'm just gonna say it. I'm not wanting to hate on the Geminis. It's just how they tend to show up. When they want to show up in their karmic energy, then yeah, they're gonna create drama. If they want to show up in their divine energy, then that's all great and fine. I'm all for it. But there seems to be Capricorn energy, Gemini energy, Cancer energy, Aries energy, all up in my grill, thinking that they're gonna show me a thing or two. I figure if they were gonna show me a thing or two, they would have showed me already. I would have been done in. I would have been gone. I wouldn't be sitting here. Ryan, shape up, my friend. We all have our good days. We all have our bad days. And you're part of the tribe, regardless if you got a membership or not. So that's pretty fucking special. So try to save yourself from getting your nipples in a knot. And just think, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Okay, it's not the best visual, but come on now. Could you imagine? Shelly, you shouldn't have burned it. They're great slingshots. Specifically for lemons. People throwing lemons at you, just send them right back. You can send them back double fold. Right? Sweet dreams, Ryan. Things will be okay, buddy. Be in the stillness. Listen to your ancestors. You got angels watching over you, don't worry. Learn the lesson, receive the blessing. Is this true, Ryan? Well, Nick, I'm glad I can be some closure for you. The audacity of some people. But something tells me you'll get through it fine. Well, Ryan, if there's something going on with somebody in the chat that you're not liking, you have every reason to speak up. Your voice matters here. Yeah, Ryan, you can reach out to me anytime, buddy. Mama Remy, any woman can be a mother. It takes a special lady to be a mom, and I think you're doing a pretty good job. Continue to show by example. People don't give you enough credit for what you put up with. But that people pleaser attitude has gotta go. It's gotta be bye-bye. People pleaser attitude to your kids, maybe, to your significant others, But certain people, they don't deserve your energy. I think you know who I'm talking about. They'd sooner bring you drama than anything else. I'm also getting this energy that there's someone in your family trying to undermine your wishes. They're trying to overlook your boundaries. They're trying to stumble on them. They're trying to reign you insignificant. Meanwhile, you got some miles on that belt, and you're not afraid to use it. Tonight's message, Ryan, has been a little intense, so be in the stillness, do some breathing. The sun will come out. Nick, what do I have for you? The moment you put your foot down and the moment you start sticking up for yourself is the moment things are going to get a little bit hairy for you. Okay? However, looking back at your previous experiences in life, you will remember that you were built for this. That all the previous experiences leading up to this moment you've had in order to learn something, to gain a better understanding and perspective. Allow these experiences to propel you forward rather than hold you back. Sweet dreams, Ryan. There'd be people gaslighting you, getting you to question your reality. These are not your people. Specifically when you know in your right mind of what you've seen, what you've experienced, and what you learned from it. Don't allow them to gaslight you. And allow the gaslighting to be acknowledged that these people are not to be trusted. No matter who they are, whether they're family, whether they're friends, whether they're confidants, because these are manipulation tactics, and if they're willing to manipulate you, They do not have your best interest at heart. So use your discernment going forward. Spirit says that you're going to be fine. You're going to get through this. It's a test to see if you learned your lessons. I've been speaking to you, Nick. Let's keep that for another story, because I'm trying to keep level-headed as it is. By the way, personal readings are open. You have to reach out through Hipsy in order to get those readings. Otherwise, connect to me on Facebook or Instagram. If you reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, at least let me know that where you're coming from. You watch me on YouTube, you're looking for a reading, then I won't block you. If you don't come at me and address me that you watch my YouTube, that you like my collective readings, chances are I'll think you're a scam and I'll block you and I'll delete you. It's nothing personal. It's just I have a lot of invites, and that's how I distinguish them. That's how I sort them out. Things are about to get pretty choppy. Things are going to be getting a little bit weird. But we need to do our best to get through it by working together. If we all strive for the higher timeline and we do our best to heal and we raise our vibration, we're going to come out okay. If we choose to stay in the karmic energy and allow it to overtake us and allow it to darken our hearts and our spirit is what it's going to do. This is why the split. Because a lot of the people that are going through what you're going through, it's meant to heal you, it's meant to bring you to your higher level. But if you fight it and you don't allow it to happen, you're keeping yourself from your glow up, you're keeping yourself from your ascension. Like, what do you really have to be afraid of? All we are is stardust moving through space. having an experience. So I'm looking for some more members. So if you want to join the members section, it's open for more members. If you want to support me at a particular bracket, it's greatly appreciated. If you want to reach out for a reading, you can get 1 through 4 level. It includes a reading anytime you want it. You just got to reach out and order one. I have merch. So if you want to get merch while it's up and running, I'm virtually making no money on merch. It's basically to pay, I might be making $5 an item, if that. So it's mainly for the production costs of what it costs. It's 3/4 of the production costs. So I'm only making maybe $5 per item, which isn't a lot. I did it for the merch. I did it for the creativity. There's sweaters and t-shirts and blankets and pillows and shoes and dresses and shorts and pants and hoodies. Let's see what the dragon message is tonight. Dragons of the north, south, east, and west, please be here to provide the collective with a message. What do we need to know right now? Changing the way you look at emotions, the way you look at your relationships, because you feel that you're missing out on something, when what you're missing out on is you. It's like people are coming in and breadcrumbing you, saying they want to be there and provide for you, and then they take away your energy instead, and leaving you fend for yourself. There's people blocked out of your energy. They can't watch you anymore. They were being extremely sneaky, trying to steal off of you. And now they're all up in their heads. Some of them very well could be incarcerated. Some of you will be getting news soon. Somebody was caught red-handed behind your back, stealing from you. And they're kind of in a daze as to the reason why they're now locked up. It could be spiritually, it could be literally. But things are about to balance out for you, collective. Somebody was very wishy-washy. Somebody was very hot and cold with you. They were very needy on your energy. Meanwhile, they weren't nurturing their own truth. They were lying, deceiving you right to your face, disrespecting you, disrespecting your gifts, love bombing you. But it's all coming back to you sevenfold. Everything that was taken, everything that was compromised. Spirit's asking you to guard your heart right now. The fact that you have elevated, the fact that you've grown within your emotional sphere, you've gained a new foundation of how you look at your relationships. And because of this, you're creating boundaries for yourself. And there are people missing out. And they're in a prison right now. At the fact that you ended it, the fact that you cut them off. and they cannot rest. They are resentful of the fact that you walked away from them and you found value in your life without them. It has made them extremely bitter and very vindictive. They feel defeated, as they should be. They will have no other choice but to call truce for trying to destroy you, and that what is done in the dark will be brought to light. This is something that they cannot walk away from because they've been caught red-handed. They tried to gain stability on your energy. They tried to gain stability and clout by your name. And it will all be revealed. That they were trying to take away your strength and hold you back from stepping into your next timeline. They were holding you back from succeeding. And apparently there's evidence, and it's all coming to light. They didn't want you to have any hope. And they did not want you to have independence. And they sure as hell didn't want you to have a legacy. But you're getting it all. You're no longer in your head. You see it for what it is, so stop questioning it. Spirit's saying to get excited about the future. And don't feel guilty. Fill your cup up and allow people to watch you eat. And don't feel guilty about it. Specifically the ones that are coming up against you. When this abundance and this prosperity comes in, tell no one. If you want to tell somebody, write it down. Write it down, write it in a journal. Unless Spirit tells you otherwise, tell no one. The divine is about to heal parts of you that you never thought would be ever healed again. The miracles that you seek are literally right around the corner. Somebody's going to come in and love bomb you because they feel defeated. They don't know how else to approach you. By them coming in a certain particular way, you're going to know right off the bat. And the truth, when this person comes in to love bomb you, stay silent. Give them the floor, let them speak, because they will tell you everything that you need to know without you even asking. The whole idea is to come in and overwhelm you with emotions and information, so that you show compassion to them in some sort of way. This is in a form of emotional manipulation. Yeah, because they're self-destructive. And they're being very sneaky. And they're trying to leave you out in the cold. Or they're trying to steal from you for leaving them out in the cold and for blocking them out. The divine is telling you to rest. Yeah, so when you're feeling attacked, when you're feeling drained, when you're feeling lethargic, rest. Call your power back. Cut any cords. Return to sender. Anything that is being sent to you, rebuke it. And rest. Take some time out in the stillness. Connect to your spirit guides. Connect to your ancestors. Ask them to empower you, to strengthen you. Get reacquainted with your spiritual side. Raise your vibration. When you're feeling an energy come over you, question it. Is this my energy or is it someone else's? And if it's not my energy, allow it to be identified as to where it's coming from. Nick, one thing that's coming through, and I don't mean to single you out here. You got this people pleaser attitude. You like to sugarcoat things. You like to give the benefit out of the doubt. You're a kind soul. You got a good heart. It gets you into trouble. You wonder if it's a curse or if it's a blessing half the time. A lot of this is rooted in your abandonment issues and your challenges with abandonment. I'm getting that this is going back to your childhood. and not being able to feel as if you were enough. A feeling of inadequacy. Always having to make up for and to rise above and to prove yourself worthy of compassion or respect. Show up for that little guy. Show up for your screaming teenager. Validate their feelings and show them compassion. And by the little guy, I mean your inner child, your inner teenager. How are you to show up for your children if you don't show up for yourself? How are you to lead example if you abandon yourself? And into the idea that you're trying to empower your children by abandoning yourself and by giving up your life for your children. What is that teaching them? You know what was really weird? The other day, I had a little bit of a moment with my younger self. And I asked my younger self if there was something that I could do as my adult self that would help my little guy feel safe, what would it be? And I sat there and I thought about it for quite some time. How could I show up for my little guy? And you know what I got? Stop running. And it's not about submitting, it's not about just stopping altogether, it's not about um, it's not about not empowering. It's just about stop running. I've been running my whole life. I mean, who's not running from the boogeyman when you're little, right? We're all running from the boogeyman. bring justice to the uncertainties, to the trauma, and to the pain. Even if that means showing up for yourself. Even if that means filling your own cup, instead of trying to expect others to fill that for you. Searching for that wholeness within another person, or your instance, within your kids. By abandoning yourself, you are thus showing them by example on how to abandon themselves. And all this way that you're trying to serve your children, you're not serving anything to yourself. It's not about the mistakes you've made, it's about what you've learned from it. And how you've progressed and evolved. And it's only a mistake if you're not learning from it. The moment you start learning from it, the moment you start growing from these experiences, are the moment you start living. And the moment you start doing that is the moment you show up and you show by example to not only yourself and your inner child, how you're not going to abandon yourself. By showing up for yourself, you're actually leading by example for your children to show up for themselves. And instead of putting a whole bunch of pressure on your children to succeed, you can show them how you do that. You can show them how to succeed by leading by example. Just remember, it wasn't all built in a day, and Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your success. However, the consistency, the integrity, and the compassion that you put into it is going to show up a heck of a lot better than dwelling on the mistakes that you haven't learned from yet. You have to admit this is part of his experience. But again, it's all on how you show up in the experience that will hurt or help. It's all on how you show up for yourself and lead by example. It's going to make or break this, and to make it what it's going to be. The world with so much division, we're brought into this position where we don't feel that we have a choice. When we have a choice, we have more choices than we have red tape. But a lot of us don't want to see it for what it actually is. The moment you recognize it, the moment you acknowledge it, the moment you show it compassion and validity and integrity, is the moment your awareness changes, and it brings you to a new perspective. It brings you to a new understanding. Thus giving you the ability to change and make a choice. You can even just start showing up in the relationship. If you're dealing with your wife being a narcissist and you're the empath, which that's what I think it is, I'm getting a feeling that she's got narcissistic traits rather than full purebred narc. I think a lot of her tendencies come from her family rather than her overall essence of who she is. I mean, she's had some trauma in her life, but from what I'm feeling, but when it comes right down to it, she has the ability to reflect and change. But if you feel that she's emotionally unavailable to the children, then it very well could be her masking her emotion to her kids, which I'll tell you right now will not fare out well in the end, because the kids will end up resenting her. Just continue to be the compassionate human being that you are. Be the loving, compassionate, supportive dad that you can be. And lead by example. And not only show up for the kids, show up for yourself, but show up for her. Show her what compassion feels like. Voice the fact that, you know what, you're not your past. You have the ability to change it. But first you have to take accountability for where you went wrong in order to recognize what you need to change. It's humbling. It's meant to be that way. But it's worth it. It's one thing trusting her as your wife, and it's another thing to trusting her as the mother of your children. And there's another perspective of trusting her just as a human being. It's one thing to trust her as a human being, and whether or not she lies to you or not is a relative, right? But if it's difficult to trust her as your wife, yeah, there is some sort of commitment there, being a wife. So if she's dealing with infidelity or lying or having a hard time taking accountability for her actions, maybe cheating on you or whatever the case, because that's kind of what I'm getting as the reason why you can't trust her. I'm also getting something to do with money and finances as well. She tried to pull the wool over your eyes. It didn't work too well in her favor. I think it's partially in the reason for the separation. So show up for yourself, show up for your younger self, show up for your teen, show up for your kid, show up for your kids. And step back into your independence, whether she's in the household or not. She can either show up and be a part of it, or she can show out. I'd give her own bills back to her. Pay your bills, help with the kids. That's all you need to take on. You're doing better off than you think, Nick. So anytime you want to go spend money on her, get a savings account and put the money in the savings and use that for the kids instead. So that way any money that would have went to her goes into an account for the kids, whether when they get older or whatever the case. And if you have to open up a new account, open up a new account. That way she has no access to it, whether she wants it or not. There just doesn't happen to be any more money going into that account all of a sudden. Well, regardless, focus on yourself first and foremost. Create a stability for you. Because if you're not stable, how can you provide or show up for your kids? Okay? So show up for yourself. Stop abandoning yourself. Show up for your kids. Okay? Stop feeling guilty that you're not enough because you're more than enough. Okay? Your kids need a confident father. They need a confident dad. Any man can be a father, but it takes a real individual to be a dad. The biggest switch of the tables, the biggest table flip, is finding your independence away from the abuser. The moment you can find your independence away from the abuser, the better. But do it in silence. Because they will do anything and everything in their power to make you look like you're a useless piece of shit. Tagging along on the back end ass of a donkey. What is life without a little bit of humor? So shape up, Nick. You're in better shape than you think. Start respecting yourself, empowering yourself. And if she starts saying, "Oh, you're you're being a little too much. Why don't you just calm down?" Just say, "No, actually, I'm perfectly fine the way I am." Don't allow her to diminish you. Don't allow her to discredit you and devalue you. It's because they whittle you down. They make you question your reality. They make you question the validity of your mind and your soul. And it's to the point where you just don't have it in you. They ruin your whole idea of inspiration. They ruin your whole idea of abundance or being creative or anything to that matter. Yeah, yeah. It's called Stockholm Syndrome, where you end up questioning your whole reality. You end up thinking that you're the crazy one. That you might have lost your fucking mind, and you haven't. It's them constantly questioning you, constantly devaluing you, constantly diminishing your value, bringing everything down to a bare minimum, breadcrumbing you, giving you no credit for anything that you do. But stepping back in your power, finding your confidence in self-improvement, self-empowerment, self-respect. Mm-hmm. Ignore it. Ignore all of that bullshit. Because really, when it comes down to it, in the end, you're going to be the sane one. You're going to realize it. It's going to infuriate you. You're gonna feel like it's gonna dawn on you one day that absolutely everything that came out of her mouth was a lie. You might even find out that everything that was coming up to this point was for her to use you because she was too insecure to be on her own. And I wouldn't even be surprised if there might have been a baby trapping. I'm kind of getting that. She manipulated you into a baby, into having a baby. And that should be illegal because it happens way too often. Have you ever got a paternity test to see if you were actually the father? Because you might want to send away for it and have it come in the mail and just work it out with your kids. I would do all the kids, make sure. Because you never know. And at least you're going to know 100% whether or not it is or not. Which you deserve to know. Okay. Yeah. Welcome in, Johnny. And people wonder why I want to stay single. The way the people be out there desperate. Big fat fuck no. Do you realize a honeymoon with a narcissist can last up to 2 to 3 years? It depends on how much you give to them. If you're constantly giving to them and you don't stop giving to them, then the honeymoon period continues. Okay? The moment that you stop giving is the moment that they stop giving. If you're always giving and you're not getting any reciprocation, and you're feeling slightly drained and, like you're holding up the whole bit, then yeah, you know what? You probably are. But the moment you stop and you notice that they're not picking up where you left off, they're not giving back anymore. The reason why you're feeling so at home and so connected to this person is because you're receiving back your own energy. And that in itself is the reason why you feel so at home. Because they're basically reflecting your own energy back to you. And they're not showing any of themselves to you at all. They're not revealing anything of their own energy to you. Because they're empty. They have nothing to give you. The only thing they have to give you is what you give them. So that's a big test. If you think that you're with a narcissist, just stop giving and see how they lose their mind. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a full-fledged narcissist. Or switch it around to be, yeah, because it was your fault. And this is why you gotta hold them accountable. With a narcissist, you can't bite your tongue. And if you can get them on camera, even better. Because then they have no other choice but to sit with it. When you flip the script and you give back the same playbook they give you, it sends them into a frenzy because they don't know how to react to themselves. So for instance, let's say they get on your case one day. Play the narcissist. Play them at their own game. Play their own playbook right in their face. Specifically, something that she is going to recognize without you even saying a word of something that she's done but she's blamed you for. Meanwhile, she's turning around and doing the exact same thing. Okay? Usually if you can bring it back to something that she's argued to you about, and then she turns around and does the exact same thing, pretty well makes her a hypocrite. And narcs are the biggest hypocrite going. Ruth, I'll tell you right now, I would have went for his eyes. I would have went right for his eyes. Make him go blind. Not even a care in the world. No fucking mercy. Specifically, if he was going to go and put hands on you and treat you that way. Mm-mm. Sometimes you gotta teach a motherfucker what they're playing with. And maybe not to screw around. Now, I'm not telling you to go lash out on somebody out of the blue. But if somebody's going to beat on you and if somebody's going to abuse you, you have every right to open up a can of fucking whoop ass and knock them into next week. Well, you'd have every just cause to go a little postal, Ruth. Maybe it's time to show them how physically well you aren't anymore. Maybe it's time to go postal. And even if they do get you taken away, at least you're free. And it is becoming enlightened to know that there is such thing as reactive abuse, where they poke and they prod and they trigger you into reacting, into flipping out, into snapping out. So give them what they want. Snap out. Show them who the fuck they're dealing with. I'm very happy for you, Brandy. But this is what I'm saying. We're going to be brought to a position where we're going to need to rise and work together. It's the only way we're going to get through this. But anyway, kids, I think that's it for tonight's collective. I've been on here 186 minutes. Things are going to get better for you, Nick. Just stay focused on your priorities and what means most to you, and things are going to work out for you. Yeah, but they did you a favor, Ruth. They gave you the time to rest. They might have put you in a mental hospital, but they got you out of the way. They gave you a moment to breathe. But you've grown since then, and things have gotten better for you. You are on the mend. Continue to empower yourself. Nick, if you're on Facebook or Instagram and you'd like to reach out, same name, same picture. If you want to reach out, go ahead. And that goes for anybody in the tribe that doesn't have me yet. If you want a personal reading, hit up the link section, hit up the description box. There's links anywhere and everywhere here on YouTube on my page. Check it out. There's a wish list, an Amazon wish list. Check it out. Merch, website, check it out. Personal readings, check it out. It's all available. Super chat, super stickers, super thanks. They're all greatly appreciated. They don't go unnoticed. And I thank you for hanging out with me tonight. It was a good session. It was a good hangout. And you know the drill, everybody. If you can't be good at it, at least be good to yourself. So that way you can be good to others. And until the next video, I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Ciao.